Hey Stephanie, what's up, y'all? I'm sorry if you guys hear the I'm sorry if you guys hear the actual like air. It's cold here, y'all. Like it's cold. I walked outside, just opened the door, and I said, "Lord, what in the world?" I said, "Lord, what in the world is this? What is it?" When I say cold, it the temperature says 48. But I promise y'all, it feels like it's about 30 outside. I said, Lord, this sweatsuit I have on don't even feel like enough. It feel like I need a whole bubble coat on. I kid you not. I kid you not. Our declaration is keep toiling. Come on, keep toiling. And can you let whoever God leads you to share this with to come in? Stephanie, can you reach out to them? Keep toiling. Wow. I'll take 48 over 36's. Keep toiling. Toiling. I had a moment like after the last broadcast, the last update, where I was struggling a little bit. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like I was really like struggling. I was honestly headed towards like that level of being ungrateful. And I'm just being transparent because it was like, God, I can't even go and buy soap. That's a need. I'm struggling just for bare necessities, right? And then, God told me, clean up your laundry room with your dogs messed up. Put the trash in your trunk. Hey, Daphne, you need to be here for you need this word. And do what you need to do. And so as I'm walking to the car, at this point, I'm just feeling like, okay, well, I'll just use the little that I do have and just go to the store and get the bare minimum. And the Lord said, go live. And I'm going to be real. I didn't want to go live again. But as I was sitting here, kind of just letting like the heat, letting my car warm up, because it's very much so cold here in Mississippi, I heard the Lord say, keep toiling. And I knew that in that moment, what he was saying is, faith doesn't take no as an answer. I knew that in that moment, what he was saying is, if you give up, you will not get what you need. If you give up, you will not get what you need. You will not get what God has promised you. And I knew that it was a slight rebuke. It was a slight rebuke. I knew what he was saying is, even though you're not seeing the response that you need to see, you got to keep going. There are some of y'all on here right now that are catching this on the replay, where you literally need to tell yourself, I got to keep going, instead of talking yourself out of your process. How about you talk yourself into the promises of God? You have to keep going. And what happens is, like with faith, God will promise something to us. My nose ring, y'all. Right? He'll promise something to us. He'll give us instructions. And we'll be thinking, okay, God, if I do this, then I'm going to get what I need. And a lot of times what happens is we'll do it the first time and we see no results. We'll do it several times and we'll see no results. And then doubt starts to set in and you start talking yourself out of doing it. Like, what's the use? You start complaining. You start being ungrateful. You start wanting to say, I give up. This is too hard. It's too much. But God got me together like in a matter of minutes. And he said, what other choice do you have? What other choice do you have? Because if you stop doing what I told you to do, you're going to stay stuck. Your circumstances are not going to change. And you will not get what I've promised you. Every single blessing that I have, every single thing that I've seen God do, at some point in the natural realm, it did not look like my efforts were paying off. I'm being real. When I was in the wilderness and I was applying the strategy God gave me, It did not look like it was going to work. Everything in the natural realm said, you are not moving out of your mama's house. You are even when I moved, sometimes the struggle felt like you're going to have to go back. You are going to have to go back to that season. But what I did was, even when what I was doing was not working, I kept doing what God said do. I kept applying the instructions, even if I saw no results. In fact, that was really how God is really what my process was, to show God that, hey, I understand God ministry is not about money. And so a lot of times, especially in the wilderness, especially like that transition period after the wilderness, I would do broadcasts sometimes, and money would, to this day, sometimes it works that way. Sometimes I do broadcasts and nothing comes in, right? But my willingness to continue to obey God, even when what he's telling me to do, it looked like ain't nothing happening. It shows God, I can bless you now. Your motives are right. Your heart is right. I was having a moment today where God was telling me, go live, right? I'm like, God, I got a need. Yeah, God, I got a need. Like, I need like soap. I need like stuff to clean my house. And I don't have it. And I was feeling real down on myself, right? Did the first broadcast, nothing came in. Did the second broadcast, nothing came in. Did the previous broadcast, nothing came in. And so I started to feel like, what is even the purpose? I do not want to go live anymore, God. I don't want to do any of that. And as I'm walking to my car, because God said, sweep, take the garbage out, I heard him say, what other choice do you have than to do what I told you to do? How else are you going to get what you need? And then he reminded me, faith doesn't take no as an answer. Whatever God speaks, it has to happen. Whatever he speaks, whatever his word says, it has to happen. And in that moment, I was reminded that, hey, this is what faith looks like. There are going to be moments where, it looks like what God told you to do ain't producing the results that he told you it would. There are moments where you have to keep going, even if you're not seeing results, even if the blessing has not come, even if the finances have not been released, even if the doctor's report has not changed. And then he reminded me of the woman with the issue of blood. He's had me on her since last night. Even with the woman with the issue of blood, like everything in the natural world told her, you're going to have to die with this condition. This condition is going to kill you. It ain't no cure. We can't help you. So you might as well give up. But she had a faith that said, if I could just touch the hem of his garment, I know I'll be healed. I know the thing that I've been seeking but haven't been seeing, been receiving the results. If I could just touch the hem of his garment, I'll be healed. And you want to know something? She was plagued with that illness for 12 years, I believe. Going broke because of it, because she's trying to get the result that she knows is her portion. Everybody around her, the atmosphere around her said, no, you're not going to see progress in this area. But her faith said, just touch the hem of his garment. In fact, Jesus is in the crowd. Everybody touching him. He's the Messiah. Everybody's touching on him. But when she touched him, he felt power leave him. And he stops and he says, who touched me? He realized, listen, whoever just touched me, it took something from me. And we all know how the story ended. Her faith made her whole. In fact, that was Jesus's response. Your faith has made you whole. Your faith, right? And when I say faith, your ability to believe when life is the exact opposite. of what your faith says, of what God says. Your ability to still believe in the mix of adversity, in the mix of chaos, it moves mountains. And God is saying, if you keep taking no for an answer, you'll never get it. And I knew that in so many words, God was telling me, get over yourself. Stop playing the woe is me card. Stop it. Stop it. Stop acting like I ain't been faithful. Stop acting like I have not given you what you stop acting like that. Stop acting like I ain't taking care of you. Stop acting like that. I was having a whole hissy fit. I was throwing a temper tantrum. Like, God, I have a right now need and I don't have the money for what I need. And I feel embarrassed for having this particular need. But I know I've been obedient with everything that has come in. God told me, keep toiling. That simply meant keep doing what I tell you to do. Keep doing what I tell you to do. I know you're frustrated because you expected for the need to be met on the first broadcast. Yeah. You expected for the need to be met like the second go around. You expected for it to be met when you wanted it to be met. But God said, I didn't put a time frame on it. I didn't tell you. I told you I would meet the need. I didn't tell you I would meet it the first time of you applying the strategy. I didn't tell you I would meet it the second time of you applying the strategy. I told you I would meet the need. Is it not enough? And I also told you, not only will I meet the need, but I told you that obedience it's the prerequisite. It's the requirement. You know how when you go to college, they have like some, depending on your major, you have like prerequisites, right? These are courses that you have to take. You have to take them to advance. You have to take them to even step over into the meaty part of whatever your major is. Some of us are giving up too soon. We're giving up too soon, partially because of what you've had to endure this year or what you may be enduring now. But many of us are giving up because God ain't doing it in our timing. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Faith doesn't take no for an answer. And that is the broadcast. I need somebody to type that in. Faith does not take no for an answer. Have you been accepting the no's in your life, the no's in ministry, the no's in business, the no's financially, the no's in your health? Have you been letting that be your truth? Have you been choosing to let that be your final destination? Or have you been applying pressure until what you see becomes what God says? Have you been letting the no's be? Have you been choosing them to be your final outcome, the final destination? Or have you been choosing to obey until what you see looks like what God says? Because there, have your emotions been getting in the way? Has your impatience been getting in the way? Keep toiling. Keep doing what you got to do to get to where God is taking you. I'll say that again. Keep doing what you got to do to get to where God is taking you. I'm going to say it again. Keep doing what you got to do to get to where God is taking you. For years, I applied the same strategy in ministry. For years. Somebody type that in. Years, plural. Not 1 year, years. It looked like what God was telling me to do was not producing the results that he said. In fact, instead of like it producing what God said it would produce, I was seeing the exact opposite. Okay, God, you said you will take care of me, but instead of being taken care of, all right, feel like I'm struggling. It feel like maybe I misheard you, God, because this strategy is proving to be more hellacious than heavenly. I thought this was supposed to be a heavenly process. I thought that me just doing what you say do would bring the blessings, that it would keep me from struggling, from having setbacks, from being attacked viciously by the devil. But you want to know something? When the season shifted, the strategy worked. The same strategy, I applied it anyway. I had many moments. It wasn't perfect, a perfect journey. I threw in the towel sometimes. I gave up. I had many temper tantrums. I fussed at God. I'm going to be real. I had bitter moments with God because I didn't understand, why isn't the thing you told me working? You said it would work and it ain't working. God, I didn't gave away my old life for what you want me to do. And it's like you disappeared. But when the fullness of time had come, his fullness of time, the strategy that wasn't working began to produce results that physically brought me out of that season, and results that have continuously elevated me. Like, what y'all see me doing is what I did back then. My approach was, don't take no for an answer. My approach was, whatever God told me to do, whatever strategy he gave me, it has to work. It's gonna work because it's the only option. Ain't no fallback plan. Ain't no plan C, God. You've already let me know that you shut every other option. The world will tell you never put all your eggs in one basket. No, God requires that you put all your eggs in his basket. Hello, somebody. The world will tell you have all these fallback plans, all these, you know, fake security blankets. And God requires that we put all the eggs in his basket and that we do it his way. He don't say that doing it his way will produce immediate results, although sometimes it does. Is that if you do it his way, you'll get to the promised land. You'll get what you need. You'll get what you get more than what you need. He'll shift it. He'll turn it in your favor. He'll do it. He will do it. That's the broadcast, man. That's it. Keep toiling. Tell your neighbor, keep toiling. Keep toiling. Keep toiling. Keep doing it over and over and over again. It requires repetition. Keep doing it until it produces the result that God said it would produce. Keep applying pressure until the pressure, come on, brings you over into what God spoke over your life. Keep toiling. Keep doing what you got to do. Get out of your feelings, out of your emotions. And that's it. Keep toiling. So listen. Ooh. To those of you guys that feel led to sow seed into this word, you can sow via Cash App or you can sow via PayPal. The funds that y'all sow are going towards stuff like soap. Soap. Stuff to wash my dishes. That is what the funds are going towards. It's not going towards nothing else but cleaning supplies. The goal is $30. That was the goal that God told me. $30. So if you know that you're able to sow seed, even if you don't feel led to sow seed into this particular word, if you know that you're able to sow seed into the goal, label it paid in full. If indeed you are sowing seed into like this word, label it your keep toiling seed. But literally, I have a need right now. It's for cleaning supplies, stuff to be clean, stuff to keep my household clean so that I can continue being a good steward. I do have 3 dogs. They do mess stuff up. And so, thank you so much, Stephanie. That is where the funds are going towards. I'm not going to say anything else. This was the broadcast that God wanted me to do. And so that's it. And again, if you're just sowing into the goal, God may put it in your heart to sow 35. He may put it in your heart to say, I'm going to sow more than 30. You let him lead you. All I can do is tell you how I plan to steward those funds. And so that is it. I'm about to get off here, carry this garbage to the dumpster. And as funds come in, as we meet the goal, I will let you guys know where we are with that. And so